read the text first and then 56 paragraph. We are drawn to the suffering of miserable rebirth, yet mindless of pain we go after its cause. Trample him, dance on the head of the treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out the hearts of the self-centered butcher who slaughter our child to gain final release. 57. We have high expectation of speedy attainment, yet do not wish to work at the practice with wool. We have many fine projects we plan to accomplish, yet none of them ever are done. At the end, trample him, dance on the head on this treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out the heart of the self-centered butcher, which slaughter our child to gain final relief. 58. Our wish to be happy and strong at all times, yet we do not gather merit to yield this result. We have little endurance for hardship and suffering, yet ruthlessly push for the thing we are desired. Trample him, dance on the head of this treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out the heart of this self-centered butcher who slaughter our child to gain final relief. 59. With comparative ease, we develop new friendship, yet since we are callous, not one of them lasts. We are filled with desire for food and fine clothing, yet failing to earn them, we steal and we scheme like. Trample him, dance on the head on this treacherous concept, selfish concern, tear out the heart of self-centered butcher who slaughter our child to gain final relief. 60. We are expert of flattering others for favor, yet always contemplating we are sad and depressed. The money we have gathered we cannot bear to part with, like miser.
Yeah.
We hurt it and feel we are poor. Trample him. Dance on the head of the treacherous concept of selfish concern. Tear out the heart of self-centered butcher who slaughter our child to gain final release. Now I will read the commentary. 56, right? 56, right? We have repeatedly been propelled to lower realm and have undergone great suffering. We are still unable to recognize the disadvantage of grasping at the and self-judging self. We cannot be terrified by suffering. We create the cause for the lower realms over and over again. What compels us? The self-judging attitude. Please trample him, kill and destroy the enemy together with the butcher attendant. 57. We have high expectation, speedy for this one. Attainment only beginning to study. We wish to be respected as a great scholar making a retreat. We expect immediate manifestation of the deity. Even with this expectation, we lack the enthusiastic perseverance by which such attainment are achieved. Usually we are exhausted after a few days and give up. We have so many plans to begin with, yet bring none to be proper end. We try to study in a dialectic monastery and enter a tantric, but after all we end up with nothing. These are we are like this. You, the very force responsible for this failure is treacherous, self-judging thought, trample him. We aspire to prosperity and happiness while having no time to collect their causes through generosity and the other perfections with little endurance, patience, or persistence. We study for short time and break retreat. Yet we stubbornly covet the object of our desire and anticipate achieving what is beyond us. Outrageous expectation is aspiration without creation of the cause. This is like illiterate scavenger expecting to become prime minister. It is self-judging which produce outraged expectation, trampling. We form fickle companionship without prior examination and choose them teachers without discrimination. Thus we select our friends from when we are inseparable in the beginning, but who soon become unbearable to us. While we are greatly covet food, clothes and wealth, we do not create their causes by making offering to the three jewels or the being generous to the poor and lowly. We rob others of their wealth and go anywhere in the search for profit. The self-judging thought is inseparable for all this trembling. Here it is only emphasized that self-judging is the cause of all deterioration, but also the judging others is the cause of all happiness and prosperity. 60. We are skill fettling, again we do not ask bluntly, but rather indirectly, such as what you give me last year was very useful for Dharma practitioners. This form of wrong livelihood is very bad. As Shantideva said, one should not live either from the wealth gained by climbing or undeserved share through one's power or authority, like the king who leaves unreasonable tax. Other forms of wrong livelihood are giving while expecting return of that gain through hypocrisy, getting up unusually early to make special preparation and offering one being knows that one's patron is coming for visit, hoping to impress him. We live by 5 wrong livelihood, yet things of ourselves are starving. We always think we are lacking something. We do not wear but look away from the clothes we have. And likewise, we hosted food and do not eat it. Although we do have little money and some good, under the bondage of miserliness, we are unable to be generous or making offering. All these mistakes are the responsibility of the self-centered attitude trampled upon again. So this is the transmission of this. Okay, so now we have to understand this. It's talking about two enemies. One side, self-judging mind, other side is self-grasping mind. Is two. Self-judging mind and self-grasping mind is two. These two are greatest enemy. So therefore, in order to defeat these two enemy, we need to understand very comprehensive meaning of the Four Noble Truths. Like very comprehensive meaning of the Four Noble Truths. So in order to understand very comprehensive meaning of Four Noble Truths, we must very familiar with the two truths, ultimate truth and conventional truth. So when we understand this comprehensive meaning of Four Noble Truths, we will be able to understand ground, path and result. Ground, path and result. So if we don't understand the comprehensive meaning of the Four Noble Truths, so we are unable to understand the true truths. So first, very important to understand the true truth, so which is the basis, which is knowledge to understand the Four Noble Truths. So therefore, in order to defeat these two enemies, like self-judging mind and grasping mind, we need to understand true truths. So true truth means conventional truth and ultimate truth. So conventional truth means it is truth for the obscuring mind. It is impurity. It is truth for the obscuring mind means so obscure to understand the reality. So that means conventional truth is truth for the ignorance. It's obscure to understand the reality or the emptiness of the self and phenomena. So conventional truth is truth for the obscuring mind, which is ignorance. Because of this obscuring mind hold to be I and aggregate, merely labeled by the mind, but existing from the side of the object. And because of this I and me existing from the side of the object, then we do everything on the basis of this obscuring mind, ignorance, which is fundamental ignorance, which obscure to understand the reality, but we don't see the reality. So we are, whatever we do in samsara is obscuring mind. It's we call unenlightened mind. It is impure mind. So therefore, conventional truth is truth for the obscuring mind, which is fundamental ignorance. So it's ignorance obscure to see the actual reality. The reality, we don't see the reality because ignorance obscure and unable to see the reality. Because of this, everything appears to our mind, it is on the basis of ignorance, and it seems to be very solid. It is coming from the side of the object. We hold that and we do everything till morning, till go to sleep. Everything is based on obscuring mind. So therefore, conventional truth is truth for the obscuring mind, which means ignorance. Now on the other side, there's ultimate truth. So the ultimate truth is truth for the pure wisdom realizing mind. So that means the conventional truth is ultimate truth, is one identity. There's one identity, very tight. These two are very tight, cannot separate. So therefore, the ultimate truth is truth for wisdom realizing emptiness. Truth for wisdom realizing emptiness is, which is direct opposed to the ignorant mind. So we're talking about grasping mind. So the wisdom which realizes emptiness direct opposed the ignorance. So we talk about, this is like these two are like two persons looking to two persons looking to one object. So one see very good, one see very bad, but only one person. Ignorance looking and wisdom realizing looking. These are two persons looking one person. Actually, there's one person, but you describe, oh, this is bad person, oh, this is good person. This which is like conventional and ultimate truth. One see good, one see bad, but actually it is your aspect or your mental attitude. One see good, one see bad, but only one person there, right? That's conventional means. Conventional means we can say many things, describe many things. 10 person look one object, everyone have different idea. That is conventional reality means. So it is reality, but it is impurity. It is obscuring mind, right? So therefore, we say in Heart Sutra, form is empty, emptiness is form, right? Form is empty, emptiness is form. So you have to use this I is empty, emptiness is I. So I is empty, right? So I is empty means, so then you see that I is empty means ultimate wisdom realizing emptiness. See, I is empty of inherent existence. If you hold I is empty of inherent existence, right, then that will dispel the I existing from the side of the object. Right? You hold I is empty of inherent existence. So that wisdom mind dispels the I existing from the side of the object. When you are existing from the side of the object, you realize emptiness of I. Like I is empty. So the I is empty means I is empty of inherent existence. So that mind, wisdom realize I is empty of inherent existence, therefore it does not exist inherently, or it does not exist from the side of the object. So then that will cut the absolutism. With middle way, right? We talk of middle way, cut to extreme, absolutism and nihilism. Emptiness is I, right? So emptiness is I means, so when you realize I is empty, right? So that means I is empty, it does not existing from the side of the object. So that will dispel I existing from the side of the object. Like as soon as you dispel that I existing from the side of the object, then you realize I is merely labeled by the mind by aggregate. In other words, it is dependent arising. So you understand what that? First you realize I empty. Subsequently you realize emptiness is I. So that means first you realize ultimate reality, subsequently you realize conventional truth. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? You say I is empty, right? I is empty because I is empty. So when you say I is empty, you totally 100% believe it does not exist from the side of the object. So then you dispel the absolutism. Like absolutism. You totally I is empty because it does not exist from the side of the object. You 100% totally believe it does not exist from the side of the object. Inherently it does not exist. So that will cut absolutism. Right? Now emptiness of I, right? Emptiness of I means, oh, as soon as you realize I is empty, subsequently you realize, oh, I is merely labeled by the mind on the aggregate. In other words, independent arising. That will cut the nihilism. So first you realize I is empty, and then second you realize emptiness of I. These two truths. You understand? Two truths are very important, right? Conventional truth is truth for the obscuring mind, which is ignorance. Ultimate truth is truth for the wisdom realizing emptiness, which is pure mind. So until we realize you are empty of yourself, so it's like to realize I is empty, you must recognize object of negation. You have to negate the self, right? Negate the self does not mean you are negating mistaken self. So when you negate the mistaken self, automatically you realize emptiness of I. Mistaken self. It's just like first you negate that in an existent I, and then automatically you realize emptiness of I. This is like person. First you see the person, then you see bad or good. Is the person good or bad? Like you see the person first, right? Then you describe this is bad, this is good. So once you negate that I is empty, like I is empty, so that means you're negating mistaken I. Automatically you realize emptiness. So this I is empty, emptiness of I, form is empty, emptiness is a form. Subsequently, so first you realize ultimate reality, subsequently you realize conventional reality. So this is like emptiness and dependent arising, no contradiction. It go together. Empty do exist. If I say like empty do exist, but it sounds like contradiction. Empty do exist. The empty means empty of inner existence. Do exist means conventional reality, dependent arising. So that's the that understanding is understanding of familiar with true truths. So once you understand this true truth, right, then you have to understand very comprehensive meaning of the Four Noble Truths. Buddha's first teaching, so Four Noble Truths, he teach 3 times. First, second, and third. So first, teach about the nature and characteristic of the Four Noble Truths, which is ground. And then secondly, he taught about path, which is the method how to overcome from this. You have ground, but you have plant the seed on the ground. Your ground empty, nothing there, nothing happen to you. But in the ground, you do many fertilizing or whatever, then plant many things. You get all kinds of fruits or vegetables or whatever. The ground, they are ground, and then on the basis of ground, path. Use all the method, and then path, and then cessation, which is result. So ground, path, result. So Shi Lam there, some Tibetan. So first, Four Noble Truth is the truth of suffering. This is truth of suffering. This is truth of origin of suffering. This is cessation. This is path. So truth of suffering. So when Buddha taught about truth of suffering, then he comprehensive understanding meaning of the Four Noble Truths means category, 4 categories, characteristic. Truth of suffering, 4 characteristic. Origin of suffering, 4. Cessation, 4. Path, 4. Altogether 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths. So the truth of suffering means he actually talking about our body and mind. So our for aggregates are the nature of suffering, So he taught about four truth of suffering, four categories: Mida, impermanence, suffering, empty, and selflessness. Truth of suffering. So that's the ground. So first is impermanence, right? Impermanence. So you aggregate impermanence, disintegrating every moment. Right? It is nature of suffering because it is produced by karma and delusion. Then no matter what, everything is nature of suffering. There is no permanent happiness in the samsara. Right? So then your eye or body is empty, right? It's selflessness. So that's four categories of the truth of suffering. So that's the ground, right? Suffering. Then origin of suffering. Because it is dependent arising. It's coming from cause and condition. Right? We have to understand dependent arising of the cause and condition, dependent arising of the whole and parts, and dependent arising of the merely level by the mind. Three categories of dependent arising. So when we talk about the 12 links of interdependent origination, talking about dependent arising of cause and effect. Due to ignorance, compositional factor, consciousness. And then all because of motivated by ignorance, then we plant the karmic seed. Right? So karmic seed is seed. When we talk about seed, we are talking about karmic seed. That seed should be stored in the mind, which is continuation. Mind is continuation, right? Today your mind continuation because of yesterday. Today your mind won't be continuation tomorrow, just continuation. So when we talk about seed, we are talking about karma. We plant the seed, good karma or bad karma, we will store this karmic seed. Store this karmic seed because in the mind, right? In the mind we store. Seed is. And then condition arise, will happen. No seed, even condition, it will not happen. Right? No seed, even you put all the cooperative cause and condition, plant will not grow. You must plant the seed, right? Any kind of seed first, and then all the cooperative cause and condition, the seed will grow. So similarly, so this is talking about truth the origin of suffering, right? Truth the origin of suffering. So then he taught about four categories. Cause, right? Origin of all cause, protection and condition. Cause, origin of all, protection and condition, four categories. Cause means cause, delusion and karma. As long as you are dominant by delusion and karma, then origin is origin of cause fundamentally ignorance, right? Fundamentally ignorance. Or craving and grasping, whatever. Anything doesn't matter, right? Condition is the karma, kind of karma and delusion. And then as long as we are dominant by these two, then protection, it means stronger and stronger. It will give you strong result. And then condition. So we have substantial cause and cooperative cause. Condition, substantial cause is man, seed, and all others are cooperative cause, condition. So cause, origin of all, right? And then production and condition. So that's the 4 categories of the origin of suffering, right? So now one side, truth of suffering, truth of origin of suffering. Other side, truth of cessation, truth of path, right? So which is saying you are possible to remove from this truth of suffering and to the origin of suffering, because we have cessation and truth of path, which is oppose this truth of suffering and origin of suffering. Because origin is fundamental ignorance. So fundamental ignorance is obscuring mind, but it is not nature in the mind. Its nature is not a nature in the mind. It is temporary. It's not always there. It is temporary because the clear-like mind can defeat and you purify this. So you are able to achieve cessation. Cessation means completely eliminate suffering or the cause of suffering. So he taught about the 4 noble cessation, 4 categories, right? Cessation, peace, excellence, and renunciation. Understand what I'm saying? Cessation means completely purify, so it will never come back. Once you apply the antidote, it will completely eliminate it. Any certain level of afflictive emotions and delusion, we will be able to completely subside because of they are not nature in the mind. They are temporary. Right? So cessation means, that's the meaning of cessation. And peace. Cessation is peace. It is completely elimination of the delusion. Then it means nirvana, permanent peace. It is excellent, what is more than that one, excellent. It is excellent, excellent because no suffering, permanent. And renouncing. It's steady renunciation, firm and steady, not like water bubble renunciation, coming and going. Water bubble renunciation, little bit while go, then go, right? But it's not like it's renunciation means firm and steady renunciation, completely renouncing from the cycle of existence. So that is the truth of cessation, right? And truth of cessation, in order to completely subside this, we need truth of path. Path, which is wisdom realizing emptiness, is truth of path. Path, which is truth of path, right? And awareness, and what is and then definite freedom, like lam means path. I remember my Tibetan, then English. Lam means path. Rigpa means awareness. Or lam rigpa. Dubba means achievement, actualize. And then lam dubba, ngejin means definite freedom. So these 4 path, awareness, actualize, and definite freedom, which then we are free from this samsara cycle of existence. So this is what we have to understand, comprehensive meaning of the 4 noble truths. So that means 16 category. To understand this, we have to understand 2 truths. We are very familiar with true truth. What is the meaning of true truth, right? then we will be understand that if we understand true truth, then we will be able to understand these two, grasping mind and self-judging mind. These are our great enemy. They are our enemy. They are our greatest enemy. They hear talking about all the time. Some, like they will not defeat us. Wisdom, realizing emptiness, can defeat this mind, grasping mind. Okay. So you may think, how can right now we have so many ignorance? But you shouldn't think like this, because ignorance, one side ignorance, other side wisdom, realizing emptiness. Right? These two opposite, cannot go together. So if there's ignorance, right? But no matter how strong ignorance, you see the the ground is mistaken. Mistaken. Ignorance is on the basis of the mistaken. Ground is not stable. Wisdom, realizing emptiness, is how small it is, but ground is not mistaken. It is really true. Right ground, not mistaken. So you see ignorance, one side ignorance, other side wisdom, realizing emptiness. Ignorance, how strong ignorance, but the bottom line is mistaken. You see this wisdom, realizing emptiness, the ground is not mistaken. Ground is pure mind, purity mind. The ignorance is mistaken, obscuring mind, So that means appearance there, and you go to the appearance. Obscuring mind always go to the appearance, not on the reality. Wisdom mind, there's no appearance. One. Wisdom, ignorance mind is two faces mind. Wisdom, realizing emptiness is one mind, one face. Two faces mind, we know good, right? Yeah. Usually two faces people know good. Yeah. There's two faces people. Ignorance is just like that. You know what I mean? So this is the teaching tonight. Yeah. Maybe you could practice this.